Aquarius, welcome to your October 2021 reading. My name's Michelle, welcome to my channel. Just going to get a bit of a spread that's going to examine kind of where you are currently, your energy, and some likely very near future energies for your physical self, what's going on in your physical world, for your emotional self, mental self, spiritual self. And we'll just take it from there. So as I'm shuffling, I'm just sort of asking what messages would be most helpful for Aquarius right now. What do you guys need to know? What are we allowed to know about your journey at this time? So I've already posted about, I think, 8 other signs for the month of October. And I do intend that my videos cater for people in their different placements. So you can watch a video if it's in your sun sign placement, your moon, your rising, north node, Venus, Jupiter, etc. So feel free to check out some of my other videos. So funny, we've got the Otter Spirit. I haven't started the reading yet, but I did see that as I was shuffling and I had a feeling it was going to pop out again, so. Okay, final deck. Okay, so what I'm getting, I'm just been taking a look at what's come out. So what I'm getting is, in your physical world at the moment, things kind of aren't really working out. But the energy that we have here is beautiful. Like, you're actually in a really good place. So we start the reading off with the Queen of Cups reversed in your physical space. So this is kind of a sense of you being a bit emotionally overwhelmed at the moment, not feeling loved, not feeling supported. And I can definitely tell this for sure because we've got the Otter Spirit that's come out saying you are never alone, and the Wasp Spirit, which has come out saying sometimes life stings. So there's definitely been a disappointment in your physical world, something that maybe looked very promising, very exciting, very adventurous, like a new adventure that you were about to head off on or embark upon. And something passionate, something that really excited you, and it just hasn't worked out, I think, is kind of what I'm getting. And it may have been a relationship just because of the messages about you never being alone. We've also got self-love here. So this card's come out saying, let the wall fall that separates me from my own vulnerable inner child. I long to take care of myself like never before. And I've had this Divine Abundance deck for a while, and I've done a lot of readings for myself with it, and I've never had this card come out. Yeah, it's really interesting. So, but the good news is I feel like you are actually in a place of self-love at the moment, even though, like, you know, normally if I was to see this card in the reverse, I would think, oh gosh, like, because it is an energy, or it can be an energy of being overwhelmed to the point that you're kind of really quite out of control. But you are very in control here. Like, you're in such a good energy in spite of what's happened. And so mentally at the moment, we've got the Ace of Cups. And the Ace of Cups for me is the self-love card. So mentally, you're really learning how to love yourself, how to love your life, and learning. Like, the Page of Pentacles is the ultimate student. And I feel right now like your life is your teacher, and the experience that you've been through has been your teacher. And this is kind of your energy in particular at the moment. And this is the Hanged Man in reverse. So it indicates to me that you have, in the recent past, been taking a bit of a time out, been taking some time to kind of evaluate things, look at things from a different perspective. And I really feel like you've just found a sense of power. You've found some kind of deeper meaning, and now you're able to kind of move forward. And your emotional energy now is the Queen of Wands. So that is the ultimate kind of card of confidence, of self-empowerment, of, just feeling your own kind of vibe, your own kind of groove. It is a card that very much indicates that you're your own person. You're strong in who you are. You're not trying to fit in. You're not trying to blend into the crowd. You're very clear on who you are, what you like, what you don't like. And we've got the Five of Wands up here. So I do think it's been a process. I think it's been a process of finding out who you are, maybe by trying on kind of different personalities, by having lots of disappointing life experiences that might not have worked out. But you've really taken a very good approach to these things, in that you've been willing to learn the lessons. I just see this as someone that is like kind of on the up and up in every kind of level. And the reason you're on the up and up in every kind of level is because you're realizing that the experiences that you've had, they don't mean anything about you personally. Like, how when people have relationships that don't work out, or they apply for jobs and they don't get the jobs, there can be a tendency to go into this mindset of, didn't work out again. What's wrong with me? Why do these things never work out? Why do I never get the love that I want? Why do I never get the job that I want? Rah, rah, rah. And like, those feelings are understandable. You know what I mean? Like, I think we can relate to those feelings, but ultimately they're not thoughts and they're not beliefs that serve us long term. And I just think you've done such a good job of not going there, like of allowing yourself to kind of feel the disappointment and whatever, but to really be like, okay, what can I learn from this? What else can I try? And it's just served you so well. Like this Five of Wands card, and particularly this depiction of it, it reminds me of group theory. So there were a bunch of psychologists that in the 1970s, I think, they put together this psychology about how groups work, and it was like the forming, storming, norming, whatever theory. So the idea is like you come together as a group, and you're trying to work together, then you're trying to figure out, okay, what are the unspoken norms of the group, and then you start getting things moving, and then you experience conflict, and everybody else has different ideas, and then you overcome that, and then you get to kind of a place of peace and acceptance. And then other psychologists, a couple of decades later, came on and added new kind of stages to it, and they developed the model further. Anyway, I kind of feel like you've been doing this internally within yourself, but you've been using your experiences in the world and your experiences that you've had in relationships with other people and other challenges and other environments and things that are outside of you. I feel like you've been using those to kind of go through that forming, norming, storming kind of process for yourself, of thinking like, okay, who am I as a person? What personality really fits me at this point in time? okay, there's a bit of conflict here. What does that mean? What can I learn from it? How can I move through this? And honestly, like, this is just such mature energy. And we've got, this is kind of your spiritual energy here. And we've got kind of the Hierophant. So this is saying that, like, the way you've kind of handled your challenges, it's kind of made you kind of an authority figure for others. Even if you're not, do you know what I mean? Like, I think this is just kind of how other people are looking at you. Like, they're kind of looking at you and they're looking at how you're approaching things, and they just see a lot of wisdom in that. And there's a lot of people kind of looking on and being like, oh, what's Aquarius doing? Like, how have they leveled up? Or how are they able to remain so calm and so mature and so kind of like kind of flappable, seemingly in the face of all these obstacles, you know? And that's kind of paired with the Nine of Pentacles. And this is this idea that, like, you are your own person. You're very independent. You've got it going on. You know how to provide for yourself. You know, like, you're very grateful. Like, the Nine of Pentacles, I always think, is a very grateful energy. Like, people could be like, oh, well, it's not the Ten of Pentacles. You know, like, I'm on my own. I don't have, like the normal Ten of Pentacles energy. It's got kind of the person with another person, and it's sometimes got some kids running around, and it's got, like, even more kind of wealth than is in this picture, and it often has, like, a house or something else in it as well. And so there's always that tendency that a lot of people have, is to kind of look at what they don't have and kind of focus on that. So, you know, it would be very easy to be like, well, I don't have the person, and I don't have the kids, and I don't have the house, and I don't have whatever. And to not appreciate this beautiful garden that you're in, and your, like, luscious kind of robes, and the parrot that sits on your hand, and the wealth that you do have, you know? But that's not you. I feel like you're just so grateful, so grounded, so mature, and because of that, like, you're actually really enjoying your life, and you're finding out ways to kind of love being on your own for this season that you're on your own. And it's not that you don't have people in your life. Like, I'm sure well, I don't know, you probably do, right? But even if you don't, I just get that there's a sense of, like, well, I know that, like, I belong to me. I know that I can look after myself. I know that I've got what it takes. So, like, there's really nothing to kind of get too upset about. Like, I know that I'm not alone, because I know that I can take care of myself. And so I have the love that I can give to myself. I have the love that I can get from the universe. So everything else, like, anything else that comes to me after that, is a bonus. Like, it's awesome. It's a cherry on top. But I figured out through some really painful experiences, I've figured out how to, you know, kind of remove the, you know, when a bee stings you and it sometimes leaves, like, little, what's the word for it? But it, like, leaves little bits in your skin that you have to pick out. It's kind of like that. It's kind of like, okay, like, you've picked the poison out, you've picked the little bits that stick in you, you've picked that out, and now you know more than you knew before, and you're not angry at the bee, you're not angry at the wasp, you're kind of like, okay, and you're moving on, and you're moving on in a very kind of spiritual way, a very divine way, a very wise way. Like, there's just so much wisdom here in how you are living life, and it really is an example to people. I'm just looking for the book. I'd really like to read that card to you in particular. I really feel like it would be helpful. Spiritual purpose and support. Receiving this card represents your own spiritual evolution. The winding path that you are on leads to a blessed temple and a lovely garden, symbolizing the spiritual destiny your soul has had in mind for this lifetime. This card upright is here to tell you that what you're going through now is all part of your soul's process. You are on your karmic path and heading in the right direction, and the choices you make now are important for your personal growth and life lessons. The lights around the temple represent the spirit world, your family members and friends, angels and guides, all the loving spiritual helpers who long to assist you. Call upon them and be open to their wisdom and inspiration. This is a wonderful, life-expanding time, so keep in mind your personal priorities as well as your spiritual connection. Following your higher intentions will help you move your life forward in dramatic ways, and connecting with spirit and your higher self will have a wonderful influence on all that you experience. Well, I really couldn't say it better than that. I feel like that's what you're doing, though. Like, you very much are connected. You very much are connected to any kind of spiritual assistance and forms of support available to you, and you are embracing the lessons, embracing the wisdom, and you really know that you are going towards a good place. Or even if you don't know that, like, I'm here to tell you that. Like, it's so clear in the cards that there's just such a maturity and such a wisdom about how you're handling yourself and conducting yourself, and like, I just know that you're onto a good thing here. Like, it's beautiful, it's empowered, without being like a rah-rah kind of empowered. Like, there's like a very quiet calmness about you that it's that unshakable kind of empowerment. Like, sometimes when people they've kind of reached a new understanding, right, but they're not as mature in it, there's sometimes a desire to kind of shout from the rooftops about it and to tell everybody about their experience. But when it's more anchored in, and when you're more kind of connected in, it's almost like you don't even need to talk about it. There's just, it's a quiet, calm wisdom that just goes above and beyond, and that's really the energy that you're in, whether you know that or not. If this reading is for you, I feel like this would make sense to you, right? Like, even if you haven't thought this about yourself, I get that you'd be like, yeah, I do feel like this has been my journey today. I do feel like I'm heading towards that. So, yeah, I mean, if you're the kind of person that feels the need to write in the comments like, no, this isn't me, you've got it all wrong, like, totally cool, but this was not the reading for you if that's kind of your experience. So I just love your energy. I think you're doing amazing. Keep up the great work, and I'll catch you again later. Bye.